Have you ever had that nagging feeling that something is just off? Off? A quiet whisper in the back of your mind? A strange coincidence you can't shake? Or a recurring dream that feels a little too real? Most of us are conditioned to dismiss these moments as random noise in our busy lives. But what if they aren't? What if your life, your intuition, the universe itself, is sending you critical warning signs? Ignoring them could be the most significant mistake you ever make. In our hyper-connected, productivity-obsessed world, we've become experts at drowning out the subtle signals that point toward misalignment. For ambitious professionals and entrepreneurs, the pressure to constantly move forward often means we overlook the signs that we're moving in the wrong direction, entirely leading to burnout, unfulfilling careers, and a deep sense of being adrift. This video is your practical guide to cutting through the noise. We're not talking about vague spiritual ideas. We're talking about actionable techniques to recognize, interpret, and act on the warning signs your life is sending you every single day. It's time to learn how to listen to your own internal guidance system. If you're ready to tune in and realign your life with your true purpose, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. And please give this video a thumbs up to support our journey into independent thought together. The voice you forgot you had understanding intuition. Before we can decipher the signs, we need to understand the source. Many people dismiss intuition as woo-woo or magical thinking, but it's a deeply biological and psychological process. Think of it as your brain's supercomputer. Your conscious mind can only process a small fraction of the information you receive every second. Your subconscious, however, is a master of pattern recognition. It's constantly absorbing data micro-expressions, tonal shifts in someone's voice, subtle changes in your environment, and connecting dots that your conscious brain misses. This is what psychologists call the adaptive unconscious. It's a rapid, non-conscious processing system that helps us make quick judgments and decisions for our survival and well-being. Consider the story of Alina, a sharp venture capitalist. She was presented with a deal that looked perfect on paper. The numbers were solid, the team was impressive, the market was ripe. Yet, during the final meeting, she felt a knot in her stomach, a deep, unexplainable feeling of no. Her logical mind screamed at her to sign the papers, but she trusted that gut feeling and walked away. 6 months later, the company imploded due to a massive, hidden fraud scandal. Alina's intuition wasn't magic. Her subconscious had likely picked up on subtle inconsistencies and deceptive cues that her conscious analysis overlooked. Our modern lifestyle, filled with endless notifications, back-to-back meetings, and the pressure to be on 24/7 actively suppresses this powerful system. We're trained to rely solely on external data and logic, effectively muting our own internal GPS. The first step in hearing the warning signs is acknowledging that this voice exists and is a valid, powerful source of intelligence. When your body screams no, physical and emotional signs, often the first and loudest warning signs come directly from our body. We've been taught to treat our physical and emotional states as separate from our life choices, but they are intrinsically linked. Your body is the ultimate truth. Are you experiencing chronic fatigue that no amount of coffee can fix? Do you have persistent, low-grade anxiety humming beneath the surface of your day? Maybe it's tension headaches, digestive issues, or a sudden lack of motivation for things you used to love. These aren't just random ailments to be medicated away. They are often profound signals of misalignment. Let's look at Marcus A highly successful corporate lawyer. He was at the peak of his career, winning major cases and earning a 7-figure salary. But he started experiencing debilitating panic attacks right before he had to enter the courtroom. Medically, he was fine, but his body was screaming a message his mind refused to hear. The constant conflict and high-pressure environment of his job were fundamentally at odds with his core values of peace and collaboration. The panic attacks were a physiological red flag, a warning sign that his soul was in the wrong place. This is the root of so much professional burnout. It's not just about working too many hours. It's about pouring your life force into something that drains you on a spiritual level. Your emotions are another critical dashboard. Apathy, irritability, a feeling of being trapped, or a persistent sense of envy when you see others living different lives. These are not character flaws. They are data points, signaling that your current path is not leading to fulfillment. Learning to listen to your body is a revolutionary act of It's about asking, what is this feeling trying to tell me about my life? Instead of just, how can I make this feeling go away? If you're finding this breakdown of physical and emotional signs helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to VF Growth Tutorials for more deep dives into personal mastery. Your support helps us create more content like this. Echoes in the world, environmental signs, and synchronicity. Once you start paying attention to your internal world, you'll begin to notice how the external world often reflects it back to you. This is where we get into the fascinating concepts of environmental signs and a synchronicity, a term coined by psychologist Carl Jung, is a meaningful coincidence. It's when two or more events occur that are causally unrelated yet seem to be meaningfully connected. Have you ever been thinking about an old friend and they suddenly call you, or you're contemplating a career change and you suddenly start seeing articles, commercials, and hearing conversations about that exact field everywhere you go? These are synchronicity. They are the universe's way of winking at you, confirming you're on the right track or nudging you to pay attention to a specific theme. Consider Priya, a brilliant software engineer who was deeply unhappy in her sterile corporate job. Her secret dream was to open a small, artisanal bakery. She dismissed it as a fantasy until the signs became too loud to ignore. In 1 week, she stumbled upon a for rent sign in a perfect little storefront. An old family recipe book fell out of a box she hadn't opened in years, and a former colleague called her out of the blue to say he'd left tech to become a chef and had never been happier. These aren't just random events. For the person who's listening, they are a clear and compelling narrative. Environmental signs can also be warnings. Are you constantly hitting red lights? Both literally and figuratively. Do projects that should be easy keep falling apart for bizarre reasons? Are you facing repeated rejection or obstacles in one specific area of your life? Sometimes, the universe puts up a roadblock not to stop you, but to force you to consider a different route. The key is to suspend disbelief and simply observe the patterns and themes emerging in your daily life. It's not about becoming superstitious. It's about becoming a better detective of your own reality. The toolkit for tuning in, a practical guide. Recognizing the signs is one thing, but how do you cultivate the ability to hear them consistently? It requires practice, and here are 4 practical tools you can start using today. First, the practice of stillness. You cannot hear a whisper in a hurricane. You must create intentional moments of quiet in your day. This could be 10 minutes of meditation, a silent walk in nature without your phone, or simply journaling without a specific goal. The aim is to lower the volume of external noise so you can hear your internal signal. Second, the sign journal. Dedicate a specific notebook to this practice. Every day, log any gut feelings, unusual coincidences, vivid dreams, or recurring physical sensations. Don't analyze them at first. Just record them. Over weeks and months, you will start to see undeniable patterns emerge from the data. This journal becomes your personal Rosetta Stone for decoding your life's messages. Third, the daily body scan. This is a 2-minute mindfulness exercise. Close your eyes and mentally scan your body from head to toe. Where are you holding tension? In your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach? What sensations are present? This simple check-in reconnects you with your body's wisdom and helps you catch physical warning signs before they escalate. And fourth, question your resistance. Pay close attention to the things you actively avoid or feel a strong aversion to. Often, our greatest resistance points to our greatest opportunities for growth or unnecessary change we are afraid to make. Instead of running from that feeling, get curious. Ask, what am I afraid of here? What is this resistance protecting me from? The answer can be incredibly revealing. These tools are simple, but transformative. Let us know in the comments which one you're going to try first. And if you're dedicated to building a life of intention, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. We're building a community of independent thinkers here. From signal to action, overcoming the fear of change. Hearing the signs is the easy part. The real challenge is mustering the courage to act on them. The signs often point us away from the safe, predictable path and toward the unknown. This is where fear and self-doubt creep in. What if I'm wrong? What will people think? What if I fail? This is the final and most crucial step. Learning to translate signals into intelligent action. The key is to understand that you don't need to take a massive, life-altering leap all at once. The goal is to create a dialogue with your life. You receive a signal, you take a small, testable step in that direction, and then you listen for the feedback. Let's go back to our examples. Marcus, the lawyer with panic attacks, didn't just quit his job, He took a small step. He started using his legal skills to do pro bono work for an environmental nonprofit on weekends. He immediately felt a sense of purpose and calm that had been missing for years. This positive feedback was the next sign, giving him the confidence to begin planning a more permanent transition into nonprofit law. Priya, the aspiring baker, didn't liquidate her savings to open a shop. His small step was to bake for the local farmers market on Saturdays. The overwhelming positive response and the joy she felt doing the work was the feedback she needed. It validated her dream and gave her real-world data to build a business plan. Think of it as a series of small experiments. Each action is a question you're asking the universe. Am I moving in the right direction? The results, your feelings, the opportunities that appear, the obstacles that vanish are the answer. This approach de-risks the process of change. It allows you to build momentum and confidence, transforming a terrifying leap of faith into a logical progression of intentional steps. This is how you realign your life. Not with one giant, reckless jump, but with 1,000 small, courageous steps in the direction your intuition is pointing. So, let's bring it all together. Your life is in a constant state of communication with you. It speaks to the quiet wisdom of your intuition, the undeniable truth of your physical body, and the meaningful coincidences of your environment. We've been conditioned to ignore these messages in favor of external validation and logical plans. But true alignment comes from integrating both. The path forward is clear. Create stillness to listen. Use tools like journaling to decode the patterns. And most importantly, have the courage to take small, intentional actions based on what you hear. This isn't about abandoning reason. It's about upgrading your operating system to include all sources of your intelligence. What warning sign have you been ignoring? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the sign someone else needs to see. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to VF Growth Tutorials for your weekly guide to personal mastery. And share it with a friend who might need to hear this message today. Thank you for watching, and start listening.